It may be spring break, but there is a baseball game to be played here in Dahlonega today at Bob Stein Stadium. It's the visiting Trojans of Anderson University taking on our North Georgia Nighthawks, and we welcome you up to the broadcast booth. Devin Kupka and Robert DiClemente will take you through today's midweek matchup here in Dahlonega. And Robert, North Georgia, currently on a 4-game winning streak. What's been their keys to success on this winning streak that they've had for the past little over a week now?
I think that they've just been playing great team ball this season, especially highlighted by Andrew Sopata and Noah Darden, who are going to be leading things off here this afternoon for North Georgia. They've got a quick turnaround here today, going up against Anderson after coming off of a series sweep against Claflin this past weekend. And so this is a big opportunity for North Georgia to win their 5th game in a row for the 2nd time this season. This is also a big game for Anderson, too. You know, they've lost 3 in a row, looking to avoid losing their 4th straight for the 2nd time this season. And, you know, with the top 25 rankings coming out tomorrow, Devin, if North Georgia is able to come away with a win today, I think that there's some serious talk for them to be potentially included in that top 25 ranking when it's released tomorrow.
Yes, coming in last week, North Georgia was the, I guess, if you considered receiving votes to be ranked, they were 27th in the nation last week. They've won a couple of games since then. Currently on a 4-game winning streak. They completed this complete sweep against Claflin, scoring 49 runs in 3 games, and in that stretch only allowing 3 runs. And North Georgia coming into this one is with a 14-4 record. Anderson coming in with an 11-10 record as we get ready to start this midweek matchup. On the mound for the Nighthawks today, Matthew Hurd. And his first pitch goes right down the middle. First strike, 1. Matthew Hurd this season, this is the first game that he started for the Nighthawks this year. Pitched 10 innings, allowing 9 hits, 10 runs in that time span, and also striking out 6 batters. Strike 2, looking for his first strikeout of the day. This one hit high up in the air where it will be caught in center field for out number 1. And let's look at the starting lineup. Starting lineups are brought to you by Northeast Georgia Health System, the official healthcare partner of UNG Nighthawk Athletics. Leading off and playing right field, number 8, Matt Ketchum. Batting second and playing second base, number 1, Taz LeGrand. LeGrand up right now, up to bat. Batting third and playing first base, number 26, Gray Wells. Batting fourth and catching, number 13, Carlos Hernandez. Batting fifth and playing shortstop, number 7, Kai Andrus. Batting sixth and playing center field. This one hit over in the direction of Hurd. Hurd able to get the pitch over to first base in time. As Gray Wells comes up to bat, let's continue going through the starting lineup. Batting seventh and playing left field, number 34, Luke Poole. Serving as a designated hitter today and batting eighth, number 33, Wesley Mann. And rounding out the batting order and playing third base, number 28, Kevin Sosa. So Wells up to bat. Wells on the season, .365 batting average. That pitch from Hurd is low for ball 2. This will be Wells' 86th at-bat on the season. One of the just trailing behind the leader, Carlos Hernandez, in at-bats this year with 85. 31 hits, 14 runs on the season for Wells.
Wells leading the team in hits this season. Doesn't look like he's going to get another one here, though.
And that will bring us to the bottom of the first. A clean inning by North Georgia. We head to the bottom of the frame right here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
I'm here.
You've got a lot of reasons to be here. That's why we're here at Georgia Heart Institute, where advanced heart attack treatments save more hearts than anywhere in Georgia.
My baby girl is home.
Georgia Heart Institute.
All right, Joyride Beads. I hear if you run long enough, you get something called a runner's high, which sounds like something I'd really enjoy. Let's do this. Okay, so far so good. Mama Lake? What? Still no high though. Hi. Hey. Oh my God, there it was. My first runner's high. Well, better quit while I'm ahead. God, I'm good.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want with NCAA.com, the home of college sports.
North Georgia Baseball would like to thank one of their season sponsors, JSR Heating and Cooling, a family-owned and operated HVAC company specializing in heating, cooling, and air purification of residential and commercial businesses. JSR Heating and Cooling, a proud sponsor of Nighthawk Baseball. We are hit here in the bottom of the first inning. Starting pitcher today for the Trojans, number 36, Nathan Sanders. And Nathan Sanders is making his first start of the season. His second start of the season, and where he's only pitched just a little over 7 innings on the season so far in 4 appearances. 3.68 ERA for Ben Smith. He's the junior out of Cleveland, Tennessee. Waiting for his final warm-up pitches. As Andrew Zopata, the first batter up for North Georgia. Coming up, the leader in the clubhouse in a lot of categories, Robert.
Absolutely. Opata, Darden, and Bowman are all top 10 hitters in the PBC statistically. North Georgia is the only team in the Peach Ball Conference to have 3 players batting .390 or higher and ranking in the top 10 in that category. Opata batting exactly .390 on the season.
A very good season for the sophomore out of Lawrenceville. First pitch to Opata goes for a strike. Let's quickly go through the batting order for North Georgia. Starting lineups presented by Northeast Georgia Health System, the official healthcare partner of UNG Nighthawk Athletics. Leading off for the Nighthawks today and playing center field, number 28, Andrew Zopata. Batting second, the freshman, and he's serving as a designated hitter today, number 37, Noah Darden. Batting third and playing third base, number 23, Riley Frost. Cleaning up for the Nighthawks and playing right field, number 5, Edwin Bowman. That pitch outside for ball 2. Batting fifth and playing first base, number 18, Philip Ard. Batting sixth and playing shortstop, number 14, Luke Starling. Catching for the Nighthawks and batting seventh, number 34, Kyle Robish. Batting eighth and playing left field, number 1, Jorge Arispero. And rounding out the batting order for the Nighthawks and playing second base, number 9, Brady Skipper. So 3-1 count for Opata. That tipped off of Opata's bat, bringing us to a full count in the bottom of the first. Sanders' last appearance came on March 5th. This one hit high in the air by Opata, but going to sail foul in left field territory.
Yeah, nice hit there by Opata. Couldn't keep it fair, so he's going to get another crack at it here.
Sanders pitched 3 innings for the Trojans on March 5th. Comes a week ago today. Opata hitting this one over to third base. Catch not made, and Opata almost going to go to second in what we would have recorded yet his 11th double on the season, but he'll stay at first.
Pata leads the Nighthawks with 10 doubles this season, 11th most in the country, averages almost one per game, so we should expect to see one eventually from him in one of these at-bats today, Devin.
Darden, the freshman out of Cumming, Georgia. First pitch to Darden is outside for ball one. Darden hits this one over between first and second. He's going to be tagged out at first. Opata advances to second. It's Riley Frost coming up to bat for the Nighthawks.
Yeah, Frost, 18 RBIs this season behind Brady Skipper and Jorge Arispero with 22. We saw Frost last season lead this team in RBIs. He's got the speedster Opata over there on second.
Nighthawks already having a runner in scoring position. As Frost looking to record his 19th RBI of the season. The 0-1. Opata stealing third. One out in the bottom of the first. Andrews Opata on third base.
Opata picking up right where he left off last season with 11 stolen bases, that being his 12th. He had 20 of last season, ranking top 10 in the PBC.
That goes for strike number 3, and that is Sanders' first strikeout of the day.
Number 5,
Edwin Bowman up to bat. Looking to record his 9th RBI on the season. Andrews Opata on third.
As we mentioned earlier, Bowman has one of the highest batting averages in the Peach Belt Conference.
First pitch to Bowman goes for a strike. A little bit of a busy week for North Georgia this week. Bowman hitting this one over to the shortstop, and tag will be made at first to bring an end to the first inning. Still tied at 0. We bring you to the top of the second inning right after a quick commercial break. You're watching North Georgia Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Shop, play, and stay in Dahlonega, the heart of the North Georgia mountains. Considering a career change? Ready to lead in healthcare? Be a nurse in 15 months with our accelerated Bachelor's of Nursing track. Learn more at ung.edu/ABSN.
Back with you here in Dahlonega for Anderson and North Georgia in this midweek baseball matchup. Glad that everyone that's watching has joined us today. We're Devin Kupka alongside Robert DiClemente. Absolutely beautiful day right now in Dahlonega. Sitting out right at 70 degrees right now.
We've had some great weather this past weekend as well on Sunday and Monday for North Georgia softball's matchup this past weekend.
Hurd throws his first strike in the top of the second. Currently up to bat, number 13, Carlos Hernandez.
Hernandez has been up to bat the most this season for Anderson, this being his 89th appearance at the plate.
Hernandez hits this one high into left field, and catch is made for out number 1, Jorge Arispro, making out number 1 in the top of the second.
That was a great job by Arispro tracking that one down, especially with the sun beating down here at the Steiner. Balls can sometimes get lost up there in the sun.
Yep, and the sun here at Bob Stein Stadium doesn't set behind first plate, but instead sets towards it. The 0-1 outside. That pitch outside again, 2-1 count.
Yeah, Kai Andrus up to bat, the leader on this team in home runs. He's got 3 under his belt this season.
Swings at that one, bringing us to a 2-2 count.
Get the double P signs from the home plate ump.
This one nearly almost could have been ruled fair, but ultimately ruled foul by the third base umpire. Still 2-2. This one hit high into right field, but it'll bounce right over in the Nighthawks bullpen area. That pitch from Hurd low for a full count. And Kai Andrus will walk to first. Bringing us up, number 10, Zach Stover. Zach Stover leads the team for the Trojans in a batting average, putting up a 371 on the season. That one shot down the foul line area.
Yeah, 26 hits in his 70 at-bats for Stover.
One's across the board. Kai Andrus over at first for Anderson.
This is a big matchup for Anderson, coming off a tough series loss to Wingate where they were swept and outscored 29-10 over those 3 games.
A lot of things going on around North Georgia athletics this week, you mentioned Wingate University. The men's team qualified as the number 1 seed in the Southeast Regional will be taking on Wingate University this Saturday at 5 p.m. in the Convocation Center for round 1 of the 2023 Southeast Regional for men's basketball.
That's huge. First time in program history that North Georgia men's basketball comes home with the PBC Tournament Championship, and the first time ever that we'll have March Madness here in the Gold City.
March Madness for the men's team. This one tossed over to first base for out number 2. Andres advances to second. Two outs in the top of the second. Kai Andres for Anderson on second base. Luke Poole steps into the batter's box for the Trojans. This is Poole's 70th at-bat on the season. Hits this one between third base and shortstop. And the throw at home will not be made in time. And Kai Andres puts Anderson on the board first as the Trojans take a 1-0 lead over North Georgia in the top of the second.
That's big for Anderson to get on the board first early against a North Georgia squad that scored in just about every inning against Claflin this past weekend. We know that North Georgia has the offensive firepower to get back into games this season. We'll see what they can do here. Now down a run to the Trojans.
North Georgia hasn't trailed in a game since the second game of their doubleheader against Columbus State earlier in the month. And even in that one, Robert, Nighthawks weren't trailing for the majority of that game, went down 2-0 early, then took a 3-2 lead in the bottom of the first. And then in the top of the ninth, Columbus State hit a home run, which propelled them to the Game 2 victory over North Georgia, which was UNG's last loss. One count, 2 outs in the top of the second. And Luke Poole will be caught stealing at second, and North Georgia will try to get the bats warmed up in the bottom of the second inning. Anderson strikes first, leading North Georgia 1-0. We'll be back right here on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Today's second inning is presented by Howard Brothers, a leader in outdoor power equipment, working hard to keep Georgia green. Bottom of the second inning, Anderson striking first, and this one taking a 1-0 lead over UNG as Philip Ard comes up to bat for the Nighthawks. Ard, the redshirt sophomore. First pitch to Ard goes for a ball. Ard hitting this one over to third base, but Sosa drops it. But able to make the throw to first base on time for out number 1.
A nice recovery there by Sosa. What could have been an easy runner on first for the Nighthawks brings up our first out here in the bottom of the second.
Luke Starling up to bat for the Nighthawks. Luke Starling making his 37th plate appearance this season.
He started all 10 games that he's appeared in for the Nighthawks, this being his 11th, looking for his 18th hit of the season here.
So far on the season, he's hit 2 home runs, and if you remember, in that Columbus State series, Luke Starling hit a grand slam for North Georgia to propel them to the Game 1 victory over Columbus State in a 3-game series 2 weekends ago.
That was probably the biggest hit of the weekend for the Nighthawks, because after that, you definitely felt the momentum shift the Nighthawks' way. They were able to come away with a series win against PBC rival Columbus State.
That hits into the ground into foul. It's 2-2 count, 1 out in the bottom of the second. Right down the middle for strike 3. And Sanders recording his second strikeout of the day. Kyle Robish, the freshman out of Kennesaw.
Yeah, new face on this Nighthawk squad, trying to make an immediate impact. He's got a .281 batting average this season.
Hits this one into left center field, and it gets down, and Robish gonna go over to second base. Robish recording his 3rd double of the season. Puts a runner in scoring position for the Nighthawks. And Jorge Arispro, no other batter you'd want to see it in the batter's box for North Georgia right now than Jorge Arispro. He is tied for the team lead in RBIs this season with 22.
He also leads the team in home runs with 4.
North Georgia looking to respond back to Anderson's 1-0 lead. Ball 2, 2-0 count. Robish on second for North Georgia. The 2-0. That one low.
Couple pitches here that have gotten away from Hernandez. He's able to get back on top of it, though, and keep Robish over there on second.
Waiting the pitch from Sanders. The 3-0. That one right inside the zone for strike 1. That one outside. And Arispro will walk to first.
Yeah, nice plate discipline there from Arispro. Now puts 2 runners on for the Nighthawks. with Brady Skipper up to bat here, rounding out the batting order for the Nighthawks.
Brady Skipper tied for the team lead in RBIs with Jorge Arispero. Kyle Robish in scoring position for the Nighthawks on second. 2 outs in the bottom of the second. The 1-0. Now just off the tip of the bat of Skipper. Skipper looking to record his 19th hit of the season.
Skipper seeing increased playing time compared to last season. Finished with 8 RBIs, and as you mentioned, Devin, he leads the team this season with 22.
And Kyle Robish is going to steal third, and Jorge Arispero going to steal second. All off a little bit of a wild pitch from Nathan Sanders.
And now this makes things easier for Brady Skipper here.
The 2-1. That one outside for ball 3. Kyle Robish on third, Jorge Arispero on second.
It's a big opportunity here for North Georgia. Potentially load the bases with their leadoff batter, Opata, on deck.
3-1 outside, and Skipper will walk to first.
Yeah, some great plate discipline there from Arispero and Skipper on back-to-back plate appearances. And with 2 outs, we'll see if the Nighthawks can rally here. Bases loaded. Try to get back into this one and score early.
Conversation going on at the mound for Nathan Sanders.
It's a big opportunity for Opata here. Potentially get another double. Leads the Nighthawks with 10 this season, which is 11th most in the country. Averages almost 1 per game, which has been a staple for the Nighthawks all season long. We're number 2 in the PBC and 14th in the nation in doubles this season with 50. Averaging almost 3 a game, which puts them atop the PBC and 8th in the country in that category.
PJ Zochi, the head coach of Anderson. It's a little bit of a long talk to Nathan Sanders at the mound. Zopata, the leadoff hitter for North Georgia. He's looking to record his first hit of the day. Bases loaded for the Nighthawks at the bottom of the second. First pitch goes for a strike to Opata. Opata bounces this one into the ground. Lands this one in foul territory. 0-2 count for Opata. Big opportunity for North Georgia. Put some runs up on the board to either tie the game or take the lead over Anderson. The 0-2. Opata swings at this one, and Nathan Sanders, recording his third strikeout, gets the Trojans out of a little bit of a pinch. And the score remains Anderson up 1-0 over the Nighthawks, and we'll take you to the top of the third inning. You're watching North Georgia Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Northeast Georgia Health System is a proud supporter of North Georgia Nighthawk Athletics.
Here in Dahlonega, Devin Kupka and Robert DiClemente here on the Nighthawk Sports Network today in this midweek matchup between Anderson and North Georgia. If you're just joining us, Anderson taking a 1-0 lead in the top of the second inning over North Georgia, and that is where we currently stand here in the top of the third inning. Wesley Mann up to bat, the designated hitter for the Trojans. Mann tied with a couple of his teammates with a 3.33 batting average this season. 0-2 count for Mann. Hurd looking for his first strikeout of the day. That pitch just on the outside for ball one. And Mann hits this one right over in the direction of Luke Starling, and the out will be made at first. Kevin Sosa rounding out the batting order for the Trojans. Sosa putting a 216 batting average on the season. Hits this one high in the air in right shallow field. And Brady Skipper coming up at the catch for out two in the top of the third. As Mac Ketchen up to bat for Anderson. 0 for 1 on the day. Strike one to Ketchen. Ketchen swings at the 1-1. Bringing us to strike two with 2 outs in the top of the third.
Big swing there from Ketchum.
Outside pitch from Hurd. Hits this one over in the direction of Luke Starling, and the throw to first on time. And North Georgia making quick work of the Trojans in the top of the third. We head to the bottom of the third right here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby. Inside the 30. Touchdown.
An incredible finish by Hall. The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
I'm here.
You've got a lot of reasons to be here.
I'm here.
That's why we're here at Georgia Heart Institute, where advanced heart attack treatment protocols are saving more hearts than anywhere else in the state. That's why we're here.
I'm here.
So you'll always be there. The future of heart care, we're leading Georgia there. Georgia Heart Institute.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want with NCAA.com, the home of college sports.
Back with you here in Dahlonega. Freshman Noah Darden going to be up to bat for the Nighthawks. As North Georgia looks to put their first run of the day up on the board. Sanderson took a 1-0 lead in the top of the second inning.
As we mentioned earlier, the Nighthawks, who scored in just about every inning against Claflin, held to a couple scoreless innings here to open up this game against Anderson. We'll see if Noah Darden can get something here going for the Nighthawks.
Nighthawks set up very well towards the bottom of the second inning, had bases loaded, 2 outs. First pitch to Darden is low for ball 1. For those of you just joining us maybe for the first time this season, or maybe fans of the Trojans of Anderson University, Darden swings at the second pitch, bringing us to a 1-1 count. But this season marks North Georgia's 25th season for the baseball team, and we are proud to celebrate 25 years of North Georgia baseball all season long. Over the course of the past 25 years, the program has captured 7 regular season and conference championships, 9 postseason appearances, and highlighted by winning the 2017 Southeast Regional and advancing to the College World Series. North Georgia looking to make their first tournament appearance in a couple of years.
Absolutely. Coach Cantrell been with the program for all 25 of those seasons, just surpassed 1,000 career wins earlier this season in the season opener for the Nighthawks.
That season opening win coming against Mars Hill in the first weekend of February. Darden gonna walk to second. Or excuse me, gets walked to first. Riley Frost looking to record his first hit of the day. First pitch low from Sanders.
Riley Frost was a staple in the starting lineup last season with his brother, Connor Frost, who just graduated after last season.
North Georgia softball in action today, and they played in a doubleheader against the number 17th ranked team in the nation, Auburn Montgomery, and North Georgia picking up their first loss since February 17th of February. They won game 1 2-1 and lost game 2 1-3, bringing them to a 25-3 overall season. And the rankings came out earlier today. Still the number 1 team in the nation.
The Nighthawks have proved all season long that they're not going anywhere. Tough break for them today, picking up a loss. But it's been a long few days for North Georgia softball, playing a doubleheader on Sunday and playing yesterday, and then immediately getting on the bus following yesterday's game to go to Auburn Montgomery to play in the doubleheader today.
That's after the completion of the second game. That is the softball team's 5th game played in 2 days. Next time the softball team will be in action, will be on the road at Georgia Southwestern on Friday in a PBE Peach Belt Conference matchup.
So they got a couple days to regroup before their next matchup, which is also on the road.
Frost going to hit this one over in the direction of Amdress, and the throw to first made in time for out 1. Darden is over at second as Edwin Bowman steps up to bat for the Nighthawks.
As we mentioned earlier, Bowman, one of the top 10 hitters in the PBC statistically, along with Noah Darden and Andrew Sopata. Bowman making the most of his at-bats, batting .415 this season with 17 hits.
That pitch actually will get a little bit of Bowman, and he'll walk to first. Philip Ard coming up to bat for North Georgia. North Georgia looking for an opportunity to take their first lead of the game.
And the Nighthawks have had a couple of opportunities in the bottom of the first and second. See if they can break through here with the runners on and just one out up on the scoreboard.
Ard gonna hit a high fly ball over into right foul territory, and the catch was almost made by the first baseman, Gray Wells. He extended his arm right along the fence in right field, and the ball hit his glove, but it ultimately bounced out.
Yeah, didn't quite have the wingspan there to make the play, but a great effort. We're staying at one out, though, here in the bottom of the third.
An 0-1 count for Philip Ard.
Ard, also a new face in the starting batting order for the Nighthawks, has made the most of his opportunities, batting .323.
The pitch low. Darden going to steal third. And the tag will be made and it was ruled safe. Trojans were looking for the out at third, but Darden's safe, and Bowman goes to second. So one out, bottom of the third.
Couple stolen bases for the Nighthawks here in this one. Now with runners in scoring position.
This one fouled back. 2-2 count, one out, bottom of the third. North Georgia looking to get their first run on the board, trailing Anderson 1-0. This one just off the tip of the bat of Ard. The 2-2 to Ard. Ard hits this one, almost hits Darden over at third base. Still going to be a 2-2 count. Ard keeping this at bat alive. Ard going to hit this one over near the third base, and Ard will be out at first, but Noah Darden comes home, tying the game up at 1. So North Georgia finding their first run of the day. So we tie things up at 1 apiece in the bottom of the third.
Thought Sosa was going to throw home there, instead decides to put 2 outs up on the scoreboard. But just like that, we're all tied up at 1-1.
Edwin Bowman still at second for the Nighthawks.
Starling up to bat has the Second highest on-base percentage on this squad, behind Noah Darden.
So 2-0 count for Starling. That pitch for strike one. Three-one count for Starling. 2 outs in the bottom of the third. Pitch low and Starling walks to first.
That's the fourth walked batter this afternoon for the Trojans and Sanders.
And P.J. Zochi going to go talk to Sanders at the mound.
Speaking of Coach Zachi, he's turned this program around since his arrival in 2019. Trojans won 25 games last season, their second most since 2007, and made it back to the SAC championship for the first time since 2018.
And this will be the end of the day for Nathan Sanders. Sanders not able to pitch this full inning.
So it looks like Graham Brown is now out there for Anderson, getting in some warm-up pitches here in the bottom of the third.
Number 3, Graham Brown on the mound now for Anderson. 5.63 ERA for the Trojans this season for Anderson. Just like Sanders has pitched a low amount of innings this season, pitching only 8, and in those 8 innings allowing 8 hits, 6 runs, and walking 6 batters while striking out 13.
13 strikeouts in just 8 innings.
So a little bit of a higher strikeout ratio than Sanders. So we'll see what Brown has in store for us.
Yeah, Nighthawks trying to mount a 2-out rally here with Robish on deck, who has the only hit for the Nighthawks in this game, yet they still find this one up tied 1-1.
Kyle Robish steps back up to bat for the Nighthawks. Last at bat for Robish recorded a double, which would be very nice, as that would put North Georgia in the lead for the first time today. Pitch low, and Edwin Bowman will steal third, and Luke Starling will try and steal second, but will be out at second, and that'll bring an end to the bottom of the third inning. North Georgia ties things up at 1 as we head to the top of the fourth. You're watching North Georgia Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Greatness. Greatness is defined as striving to succeed. It is giving everything you have to achieve your goals. It's not defined by the numbers of games you lose, the numbers of shots you miss, but it's the risk in failing that will define your greatness. You earn it by showing up early, by pushing yourself every day, by working harder than everyone else. And when you've reached that point of giving up, you don't. Most people are good, others are great. Find your greatness.
Today's fourth inning is presented by Captain Diesel Dahlonega, located at 145 Memorial Drive, sharing the specialness of seafood every day. Back with you here in the top of the fourth inning. North Georgia able to tie things up in the bottom of the third as we sit at one apiece between both teams. J.C. LeGrand is up to bat for Anderson. Grounded out in the top of the first inning.
LeGrand's got 5 sack bunts this season, the 6th most in Division II.
He's going to bunt this one, and the bunt will be successful for LeGrand. And it looks like it's going to be ruled foul. It was right on that first baseline.
Yeah, that one just rolled out of play.
Not the first time we've seen that. Today we've had balls on the third and first baseline. Just landed foul territory. Second pitch from Hurd goes for a ball. LeGrand swings at that one. Two one count. LeGrand swinging at that one. And he'll be out at first. Gray Wells coming up to bat for the Trojans. .365 batting average for Wells on the season. 0-1 for today. Wells swings at the first pitch from Hurd.
Yeah, Wells just 1 RBI short of leading this team this season.
Strike two. 0-2 count, 1 out in the top of the fourth.
Hurd's had a lot of batters today, down 0-2. Still looking for that first strikeout.
And right there, Robert, Matthew Hurd gets his first strikeout of the day. Carlos Hernandez up to bat for Anderson. This one swung on and into the ground for the foul ball. Brings us to strike one. This one hit over to Riley Frost. The toss to Ard in time. And North Georgia once again making a quick work of the top half of the frame. We go to the bottom of the fourth. You're watching UNG Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
greatness. Greatness is defined as striving to succeed. It is giving everything you have to achieve your goals. It's not defined by the numbers of games you lose, the numbers of shots you miss, but it's the risk in failing that will define your greatness. You earn it by showing up early, by pushing yourself every day, by working harder than everyone else. And when you've reached that point of giving up, you don't. Most people are good, others are great. Find your greatness.
Kyle Robish on deck for North Georgia, waiting to enter in the plate area. The only Nighthawk to record a hit so far today. Graham Brown getting a couple of warm-up pitches as we are looking to begin the bottom of the fourth inning here in Dahlonega. North Georgia looking for their fifth game in a row to take home the dub.
It'll be interesting to see how the Trojans go about using their bullpen here. Already on their second pitcher here, kind of early in this game, and it's still a close ball game, tied 1-1.
Oh, 1 count for Robish. Graham Brown coming in the bottom of the third inning to replace Nathan Sanders. Last game Brown pitched was in the March 4th matchup against Emory and Henry. Pitched 2 innings in that game. Robish hitting this one right over into the glove of Kai Andres for out 1. Jorge Arispro in the batter's box for North Georgia.
Jorge Arispro, as we mentioned earlier, leading the team with 22 RBIs and 4 home runs this season. More consistent playing time for Arispro has paid off this season. Already matched his career high in home runs for a single season and is 8 RBIs shy of a new single season career high.
Check swing by Arispro brings us to an 0-2 count. This is a midweek matchup, and the Trojans putting in another pitcher that doesn't pitch a lot of innings. In the last game against Emory and Henry, Brown only pitched 2 innings in that matchup, allowing 2 hits and 1 run.
Yeah, I thought we were going to see Ben Smith today for Anderson. Started 6 games, which is 6th most in the country.
So 2-2 count for Arispro. Tied at 1 apiece in the bottom of the 4th. Arispro hitting a high fly ball into right center field, and it gets down. Arispro going to go to second base, going to keep chugging the wheels along, and he's going to hit a triple, and the pitch, or the throw to third nearly... The throw to third was almost, could have been a disaster for the Trojans. And Arispro could have hit an inside the park home run.
Yeah, it was almost an inside the park home run for Arispro. He thought about it. He's going to stop in his tracks at third. That's now the 8th triple this season for the Nighthawks, the most in the Peach Belt Conference.
And Jorge Arispro, his second triple of the season.
He trails Opada, who has 3.
Brady Skipper tied for the team lead in RBIs, we mentioned in his last at-bat. 1 out in the bottom of the fourth. North Georgia looking to take their first lead of the game. Andrew Zapata on deck for the Nighthawks. Zapata has 12 RBIs on the season. Skipper swings at the third pitch for strike one. The 2-1. This one just off the tip of the bat of Skipper. Brings us to a 2-2 count.
It's just the bottom of the fourth, but we know Skipper is not afraid of the big moment. We saw him hit that walk-off home run against Quincy earlier this season.
Skipper hitting a high fly ball. We'll see where it lands. And the catch will be made by first baseman Gray Wells right over in the area of North Georgia's dugout. Opada now up to bat for the Nighthawks. Jorge Arispro on third. We're currently tied at 1 in the bottom of the fourth.
And Nighthawks have had runners stranded almost every inning in this game. See if Opada is able to score a Arispro over there on third after that triple.
That first pitch fouled off the tip of Opada's bat. 0-1 count. Opada swings at the second pitch for strike two. Graham Brown looking for his first strikeout. Opada looking to get another run up on the board for North Georgia. This one bouncing over in the area of third base, and the catch is made on time at first for out 3. We stayed tied at 1 as we head to the top of the 5th. You're watching UNG Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Greatness. Greatness is defined as striving to succeed. It is giving everything you have to achieve your goals. It's not defined by the numbers of games you lose, the numbers of shots you miss, but it's the risk in failing that will define your greatness. You earn it by showing up early, by pushing yourself every day, by working harder than everyone else. And when you've reached that point of giving up, you don't. Most people are good, others are great. Find your greatness.
Back with you here in the top of the 5th inning, and North Georgia has made a Wendy's call to the bullpen. They're brung out number 3, Zach Green. Here on the top of the 5th inning, we're tied at 1. Green on the season does team best ERA with a 2.16. In his a little over 8 innings he's pitched so far this season.
This is his 10th appearance for the Nighthawks this season. And now North Georgia and Anderson both on their second pitcher here in this midweek matchup.
Zach Green, in the little over 8 innings he's pitched, has recorded 7 strikeouts. So he's looking to add to that. Ball hit high in the air. Kai Andress, the shortstop up to bat for the Trojans. Andrus hitting a deep one out to right field, and Edwin Bowman comes up with the catch for out one.
That one was about to drop in front of Bowman. Nice job there to get the glove low to the turf to make the catch.
Seen so far in this game, North Georgia making quick work in the top half of the inning so far. Green throwing a strike on his first pitch to Stover. Pitch outside by Green.
He's going up against Anderson's leader in batting average this season, batting .371.
This one hit high in the air to left field, and Jorge Arispero brings us to out two.
Couple of routine plays here for the Nighthawks. Try to keep this one going.
So 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning. As Luke Poole is up to bat for the Trojans. First pitch is fouled back for strike one. North Georgia tomorrow will be going on the road to play West Georgia. The game was originally supposed to be played back in February.
Yeah, due to some rain, we've had some shuffling to the schedule here for North Georgia baseball and softball, so quick turnaround for both teams today and tomorrow.
1-1 goes for strike two. Green looking for his first of the day and his 8th on the season. Two count. 2s across the board. 2 outs in the top of the 5th. Full count now for Luke Poole. Right off the bat, a Poole lands out of play, and Poole stays alive. Hit high in the air, and Philip Ard will make the catch, and we will head to the bottom of the 5th inning. We're tied at 1, and you're watching UNG Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
To them, the whole world looks like an opportunity, one to be seized, built upon, and made better for their sport and the people around it. To student athletes, every opportunity is a chance to change what could be and show the world what opportunity can do.
Back with you here in the bottom of the fifth inning. And today's fifth inning is presented by Chattahoochee Group, a general contractor company featuring concrete sports fields, modular walls, and disposable services. Noah Darden up to bat for the Nighthawks. We're tied at 1 apiece in the bottom of the fifth inning. Pitch to Darden, goes for a strike. Darden, already a star on this North Georgia squad.
Yeah, he's going to be a name that you hear a lot in the upcoming years here at UNG. Darden didn't need time to break through in his freshman season. He's come onto the scene hot here for the Nighthawks.
Already cemented himself in the DH role and second in the batting lineup for the Nighthawks.
As we mentioned earlier, that .441 batting average leads the team and is second in the Peach Belt Conference.
Darden hitting a bomb out into right field, but out will be made by Mac Ketchen. That puts Riley Frost up in the batter's box for the Nighthawks. So 0-2 on the day. Struck out earlier and grounded out. Looking to record his first hit of the afternoon.
Yeah, Frost this season with 20 hits, fourth on the team. Had 59 hits last season.
That pitch just on the outside.
Those 59 hits were second on the team behind Jace Bowen, who was one shy of the PBC #1 spot, as Bowen finished with 71 hits last season.
If you remember the Frost combination from last year, Connor Frost graduated from North Georgia after last season. It's fun to see them two play together. The 3-1 count for Frost. One out in the bottom of the fifth. Pitch high, and Frost will walk to first. Edwin Bowman looking for his first hit of the day. Only 3 hits in total in the game between both teams in this game so far, as we're in the bottom of the fifth inning. Anderson only recording 1, North Georgia with 2 hits so far. Pitch right down the middle for 0-1 count. One count for Bowman. It's a high pitch by Brown for ball 2.
Bowman last season finishing with 41 hits on the season, has 17 so far this year. Not quite to the halfway point of the season. Could potentially see him break past the 41 mark.
2-2 count for Bowman. 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. Riley Frost at first for the Nighthawks. Philip Ard is on deck. Bowman fouls this out of the ballpark. So 2-2 count for Bowman. Low pitch from Brown. Bring us to a full count.
Nighthawks have shown great plate discipline in this one. Find themselves in another full count after being down.
The full count pitch. Bowman hitting this one right over in the direction of J.C. LeGrand. And LeGrand not able to tag Riley Frost. So now the Nighthawks will have runners on second and first with Philip Ard up to bat for the Nighthawks. North Georgia recording its third hit of the day. Nighthawks looking to take their first lead of the game.
As we mentioned earlier, Ard, a new face in the starting lineup for the Nighthawks, transferred to North Georgia from Georgia Southern down in Statesboro, Georgia.
Always a good thing to get a Division I player to come to a Division II school. Pitch low from Brown brings us to a 1-1 count. Philip Ard on the season, 16 RBIs. Riley Frost in scoring position for the Nighthawks. Two 2-1 count for Ard. There is some action going on in Anderson's bullpen.
And Ard seeing a definite increase in playing time here at North Georgia than he did at Georgia Southern. Just 2 at-bats for Philip Ard last season, and with the opportunities he's had here with the Nighthawks, he's absolutely made the most of it.
2-1 count. Ard hit this one on the third baseline. Going to be ruled fouled. Bringing us to a 2-2 count. Runners on second and first for the Nighthawks as they look to take their first lead of the contest today. Pitch low, bringing us to a full count. The full count. This is a bomb hit out into left field, but it's going to land foul. So we're going to stay at a full count. Riley Frost at second and Edwin Bowman at first. As we mentioned, there is some action going on in Anderson's bullpen. This one fouled back by Ard. We stay at a full count.
I think there's potential to see a handful of pitchers here in this matchup, like we saw last season with these midweek out-of-conference matchups. We saw Coach Cantrell go deep into his bullpen. Both teams already on their second pitcher. We'll see how long these guys are able to go.
Ard hitting a high fly ball into left center field. And Zach Stover coming up with the catch, and runners will stay in place as we have 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th with Luke Starling coming up to bat.
Starling's been walked and struck out on his 2 plate appearances this evening, looking to get the bats going here for North Georgia in the bottom of the 5th.
Riley Frost at second and Edwin Bowman at first. 2 outs, bottom of the 5th, game tied at 1. This one will get over into right center field, and Riley Frost will come home for North Georgia as the Nighthawks take their first lead of the game, as they are now up over Anderson 2-1.
Bats finally starting to come alive here for North Georgia. Been quiet since the bottom of the 3rd. And here we go, just like that. Nighthawks take the lead as they try to make something happen with 2 outs up on the scoreboard.
PJ Zochi coming out to the mound to go talk to Graham Brown, and we'll see if it is the end of the day for him. No, I know. And we will take a commercial break as we get confirmation on the new pitcher for Anderson. We'll be back right here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Here in Dahlonega, we treasure our history.
We treasure our waterfalls.
We treasure our wine.
But most of all, we treasure our guests.
We are a family.
We treasure our community.
And we're an experience for you to discover.
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 The heart of the Georgia mountains.
The heart of the Georgia mountains.
Discover the heart of the Georgia mountains.
The mountains are open.
Anderson has a new pitcher on the mound, number 46, Corey Loggins. And Loggins this season has recorded a 2.45 ERA and just a little over 3 innings he's pitched. His last appearance at the mound came last Tuesday against Emmanuel on the road, where he pitched a season-high 2 innings, allowing 3 hits and 1 run. So far on the season, he's recorded 2 strikeouts. Hasn't recorded a strikeout in a little over a month. Pitched 1 inning against King, recording 2 strikeouts in that game. Kyle Robish, freshman, up to bat for North Georgia. Luke Starling at first, Edwin Bowman at third for North Georgia. 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th.
Kyle Robish 1 for 2 today, had a hit on his first at bat. Just like last season, we're seeing a couple freshmen in the starting lineup for Coach Cantrell. Robish being one of them.
Two. Just low, full count. Corey Loggins looking to record his 3rd strikeout of the season. And Robish will walk to first, and the bases are loaded for North Georgia. Jorge Ariz-Perot, tied team leader. We've said it pretty much almost every at-bat today, Robert, but another situation that either Ariz-Perot or Skipper are in. You got Nighthawks in scoring position, so.
Yeah, this is a big opportunity here. As the Nighthawks have had a handful of times in this game, bases loaded, RBI leader up to bat. We'll see if they can mount a 2-out rally here and try to break this game through in the bottom of the 5th.
North Georgia taking their first lead of the game earlier in this inning. So they're up 2-1 over the Trojans. Bases loaded for North Georgia. Ariz-Perot was walked and hit a triple earlier in the game. Two-one count for Ariz-Perot. Bases loaded for North Georgia. Pitch way outside. Ball 3.
Yeah, can't afford another one of those. Bases loaded. North Georgia could potentially get an easy run up on the board here with another ball.
The 3-1. This one hit over in the direction of Kai Andress, and the catch made on time at first, but that's not without North Georgia taking the lead in this one as they take a 2-1 lead over Anderson. We head to the top of the 6th. You're watching North Georgia Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Back with you here in the top of the 6th inning. Devin Kupka alongside Robert DiClemente. You're just joining us. North Georgia taking a 2-1 lead in the bottom of the 5th inning. As Anderson went up early in this matchup, taking a 1-0 lead in the top of the 2nd inning, and North Georgia scoring runs. This one's going to be hit high into right field, and Opada and Bowman almost collide.
They collided there on the catch. Luckily, though, we're able to make the play for out number 1. The Trojans were able to get out of the inning with bases loaded in the bottom of the 5th.
A 1 count for Carson Molinarli. Oh, 1 right down the middle for strike 2. Yo, 2 just outside for ball 1.
Last season, the Trojans broke a 15-game losing streak to the Nighthawks, picking up an 8-3 win in the first meeting between these two teams in 2023. That was during their best stretch of the regular season when they won 8 of 10 games in March.
All-time, UNG is 34-6 against Anderson. As you mentioned, Anderson broke a 15-game losing streak against North Georgia on March 21st of last year. That was North Georgia's first loss to Anderson since the 2012 season.
As you mentioned, Devin, they do have history on their side. 22-3 against the Trojans at home.
And out number 2. Zach Green striking out Molinaroli.
Green's second strikeout this afternoon.
Bringing him to his 9th strikeout on the season. This one hit over in the direction of Frost. Frost to Ard. Connection made. And we head to the bottom of the 6th. You're watching North Georgia Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
I'm here.
You've got a lot of reasons to be here. That's why we're here at Georgia Heart Institute, where advanced heart attack treatments save more hearts than anywhere in Georgia.
My baby girl is home.
Georgia Heart Institute.
All right, Joyride Beads. I hear if you run long enough, you get something called a runner's high, which sounds like something I really enjoy. Let's do this. Okay, so far so good. Mama Lake? What? Still no high, though. Hi. Hey. Oh, my God. There it was. My first runner's high. Well, better quit while I'm ahead. God, I'm good.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want with NCAA.com, the home of college sports.
Back with you here in Dahlonega, and today's 6th inning is presented by Zaxby's of Dahlonega, an official partner of North Georgia Baseball, located at 58 Pine Tree Way. Zaxby's one of the staples in the state of Georgia.
Fan favorite here up in Dahlonega with their Wing Wednesday deal that they do. Can't go
Tomorrow
wrong
is
with
Wednesday,
Zaxby's.
so literally right around the corner. You know, I've never, ever, for Zaxby's, Have not, anytime I've been there, it's always been the chicken tenders, nothing else. Brady Skipper going to bunt and going to get there on time to first base.
A perfectly placed bunt there by Skipper. Stays fair, and he's able to get to first pretty easily there.
His leadoff hitter, Andrew Zapata, up to bat for the Nighthawks. North Georgia able to take a 2-1 lead over Anderson in the bottom half of the fifth inning.
Zapata's 0 for 3 today. Only a matter of time before he breaks through this afternoon.
Opata hitting a high fly ball into right field, and it'll be caught by right fielder Matt Ketchen. So Noah Darden, 0 for 2 today, looking for his first hit.
And Darden's strung together some great games for North Georgia in the midst of a 7-game hitting streak. Darden, another example of a Nighthawk breaking onto the scene early in their freshman season. We saw Opata and Bowen both have terrific freshman seasons last year.
And Skipper will go to second base. A 1 count for Darden. 1 out in the bottom of the sixth. That pitch outside for ball 1. Now 2-1 count for Darden. Ready Skipper at second for the Nighthawks. Darden hits this one out of play.
This is just the first midweek matchup for the Nighthawks this season. First time they've played on a not Friday, Saturday, or Sunday this season.
They're supposed to have their first midweek matchup against Catawba last week. Skipper will steal third, but doesn't.
I think they're saying
but
that
it's
going
to be ruled safe. So Skipper gets the third, 1 out, bottom of the sixth. It was Carson Molinaroli who dropped the ball. It was the throw from Carlos Hernandez.
That's big there. Puts a runner on third. Darden's able to poke something down in the outfield. Should score Skipper over there at third.
So full count for Darden. Darden hitting this one right over into Molinaroli, and the throw to Wells on time for out 2. As Riley Frost comes up to bat for the Nighthawks.
Frost still looking for his first hit here this afternoon.
First pitch from Loggins goes for a strike. So 1-1 count for Frost. Frost swings at the third pitch, bringing us to strike 2. One-two count, 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. Frost hits this one over into J.C. LeGrand, and the tag from Loggins will be there. We head to the top of the 7th inning. You're watching North Georgia Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Shop, play, and stay in Dahlonega, the heart of the North Georgia mountains.
Considering a career change? Ready to lead in healthcare? Be a nurse in 15 months with our accelerated Bachelor's of Nursing track. Learn more at ung.edu/ABSN.
Today's 7th inning is presented by Rains Grading, a local leader in commercial and residential grading and hauling. Zach Green on the mound, still on the mound for the Nighthawks. He's going to face off against J.C. LeGrand. LeGrand looking to record his first hit of the day. First pitch from Green goes for a strike. So far in this matchup, Green recording his 8th strikeout of the year. Looking for his 9th of the season here. 0-2 count for LeGrand. The 0-2. Grand swinging at that one for out number 1. North Georgia so far in this game has only allowed 1 hit in this one against Anderson. As North Georgia's up 2-1 over the Trojans at the top of the 7th.
That lone hit coming from Luke Poole.
And so bomb hit out into center field by Gray Wells, and Opata comes up with the catch for the quick out 2.
Another routine play there from the Nighthawks.
First pitch to Hernandez goes for a strike.
He's looking for his 30th hit of the season in this at-bat.
Hernandez 0 for 2 in today's game. Pitch low by Green for ball 1. One. Outside, ball 2. The 2-1. Pitch high, ball 3. So a hit over the direction of Luke Starling, and the connection to Ard is made for out 3. We head to the bottom of the 7th. You're watching UNG Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Back with you here in Dahlonega, the 7th inning stretch. Got some fans moving in the stands and even the press box as well.
Got to get those 7th inning stretches in.
Well, you're getting yours in right now.
I am indeed. Got to make sure we're loose. Got a big weekend coming up here.
Yes, we do. Southeast Regional, the first time the men's basketball team, only second time they've been in the NCAA tournament, hosting the Southeast Regional this weekend, and that is a very big deal up here in Dahlonega. And you're going to want to pack the Convocation Center this Saturday at 5 p.m. Number 1 North Georgia taking on number 8 Wingate this Saturday in North Georgia's 3rd ever tournament game.
Absolutely. Their first coming last season. They made the NCAA tournament, went dancing for the first time last season, and it's been a big last couple of days for North Georgia's men's basketball program, winning the PBC championship against Flagler on Saturday. And after the selection show just a couple of days ago, now hosting the Southeast Regional portion of the NCAA Division II men's basketball tournament.
North Georgia grinding out some wins last week in the Peach Belt Conference tournament to get their very first Peach Belt title. With them winning, put them in the 1 seed in the Southeast Regional. This one hit back by Edwin Bowman.
What a turnaround it's been for North Georgia's men's basketball program. A couple of seasons ago, we're flying a bit under the radar, and then last season came out of nowhere, making the NCAA tournament. And this season, coming in with high expectations, were up to the task and have had an even better season than they did last year, which was statistically one of the best that they've had in program history.
You followed up by another great season for Dan Evans' squad. Frank Champion, the Peach Belt Conference MVP.
Nice to see the seniors on this men's basketball squad play in some big games and finally get that championship under their belt. But the job's not finished. They still got games to play, as you mentioned, here in Dahlonega at the Convocation Center for the regional tournament.
64 teams continue their quest onto Evansville. Bowman hitting this one right up the center, and Bowman will record his 2nd hit of the day.
Bowman, the first Nighthawk to have a multi-hit day in this one.
It's the ball coming out of North Georgia's dugout. Philip Ard 0 for 3 at the plate today. Ard going to hit a bomb out into center field. And Zach Stover coming up with the catch. Edward Bowman going to stay at first. Starling up in the batter's box for the Nighthawks.
It's been this bottom half of the batting order for North Georgia that's seen the most success today, with Starling, Robish, Arisborough, and Skipper all notching hits in this game. Starling also has an RBI this afternoon. I guess I should say evening, since we're approaching almost 7 o'clock.
Sun starting to set here in Dahlonega. The sun starting to make its way below the trees. About half the field right now is covered in shade. Strike one from Loggins.
Starting to cool down a bit here in the mountains. Was about 72 degrees when this game started.
Currently sitting at 67 degrees. The 0-1 goes for ball one.
Loggins has had his eye on Bowman over there at first.
Strike two. Starling 1 for 2 on the day. Struck out earlier, got walked, and it's recorded 1 hit so far. 1-2, 1 out on the board. Atwood Bowman looking to steal second. One-two count for Starling.
The count stayed at 1-2 for quite a while now. A couple pickoff attempts over there at first.
Bowman looking to lead off a little bit from first.
And Loggins has had his eyes on Bowman.
One, two, this one fouled behind the press box. We stay at a 1-2 count. Bowman on first. 6 hits on the day for North Georgia. Currently a 2-1 lead over Anderson.
And after dropping the first matchup of the season last year, the Nighthawks got even with a 6-3 win. About 2 weeks later, it was Jack Davis who was the star in that Game 2 win, hitting a grand slam and finishing off that game with 5 RBIs. It looks like we're in for another close one here between the Nighthawks and the Trojans.
Umps called time. Got a loose ball. Second time from North Georgia's dugout in this inning. Not dugout, excuse me, the bullpen. And Starling will swing at that pitch, bringing us to out 2. Logan's recording his first strikeout of the day. Kyle Robish stepping back into the batter's box for the Nighthawks.
Yeah, Robish had a hit on his first at-bat. Looking for his second hit of the evening.
He's going to hit this one high in the air. And Carson Molinaroli coming up with the catch to bring it into the bottom of the 7th inning. North Georgia leading Anderson 2-1. We head to the top of the 8th. You're watching UNG Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Northeast Georgia Health System is a proud supporter of North Georgia Nighthawk Athletics.
North Georgia has made a Wendy's call to the bullpen. They've brought up Jarrett Bales to the pitching mound, making his 8th appearance this season. In total, Bales this year has pitched 7 innings, only allowing 7 hits, and he's allowed 1 run. That will run being unearned, so ERA sits at a 0 right now, and so the Nighthawks look to close out this game against Anderson.
Yeah, he's got 5 strikeouts this season, walked 5 batters, holding opponents to a .269 batting average this season, so we'll see if he can close things out here for the Nighthawks as their 3rd pitcher this evening.
Number 7, Kai Andrews.
Kai Andress, the shortstop, up to bat for Anderson. Andress swings at the first pitch from Bales. Second pitch from Bales goes for a ball.
Bales' career high in strikeouts is 5 that he had last year on May 6th at Young Harris, a former
Andress
PBC rival.
Hit this one high in the air. Kyle Robish coming up with the catch for out 1 in the top of the 8th. Stover will going to record his first hit. Center fielder. We've seen him make quite a couple of catches for the Trojans. This one a ground ball to Brady Skipper, and the catch made by Ard for out 2. Luke Poole 1 for 2 on the day for the Trojans. Go one. This one right over. Will get right over the head of Philip Ard. And Stover going to make his way to second as he records his first hit of the day.
Just the second hit of the evening here for the Trojans as well.
And Tom Cantrell going to go have a talk to Jarrett Bales. We'll see what Cantrell's decision will be.
Trojans actually have more hits this season than the Nighthawks, with now 221 compared to 204 for the Nighthawks this season when you include their 6 from this evening. As you mentioned,
Only 2.
Cantrell going out to the mound to talk to his infield here.
No change made.
And it's still anybody's ball game here late in the top of the 8th. North Georgia up by just a run. Trojans looking to get on the board for the first time since the top of the 2nd when they took the early 1-0 lead.
So Luke Poole on second for the Trojans. Two outs in the top of the 8th. Pitch inside for ball 1. Sun setting behind the trees here in Dahlonega. 1-0. This one will be hit out of play for a foul.
That one going over Coleman Fieldhouse.
One. Pitch high. Poole decides not to advance to third. Robish going to talk to Bales at the mound. Nighthawks do have a pitcher warming up in the bullpen. Two-one pitch. Now a 2-2 count. Twos across the board. Luke Poole on second for Anderson. And Jarrett Bales records his first strikeout of the day, and he'll bring us to the bottom of the 8th inning. You're watching North Georgia Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela Burgess. An incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
I'm here.
You've got a lot of reasons to be here.
I'm here.
That's why we're here at Georgia Heart Institute, where advanced heart attack treatment protocols are saving more hearts than anywhere else in the state. That's why we're here.
I'm here.
So you'll always be there. The future of heart care, we're leading Georgia there. Georgia Heart Institute.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want with NCAA.com, the home of college sports.
Back with you here in Dahlonega, bottom of the 8th inning. North Georgia, the 2-1 lead over Anderson. Jorge Arispro on deck for the Nighthawks. It's 1 for 2 today. Hit a triple earlier. Corey Loggins on the mound still for Anderson.
The Nighthawks offense has been on a tear this past couple weeks, averaging almost 9 runs per game, which is 28th best in NCAA Division II. Coming off that weekend against Claflin, where they put up 49 runs in that PBC matchup.
1-0 count to Arispro. That pitch high. Ball 2. That pitch from Loggins goes for the first strike. Tomorrow, North Georgia will be going on the road to Carrollton, Georgia to take on West Georgia on the road. And then this weekend, they'll be back at home in Peach Belt Conference play. They'll be taking on USC Beaufort. USC Beaufort 2-4 in the conference so far. Arispro walks to first. North Georgia sitting with a 1-game lead over Georgia Southwestern, 5-1 record in conference, and it's been quite an impressive season for the baseball team this year.
Yeah, absolutely. North Georgia picked to finish 4th in the PBC standings at the beginning of the season, and as you mentioned, Devin, find themselves sitting atop the pack in first place. It's a tightly contested race atop those conference standings with the top 4 teams with 4-2 records, except for North Georgia, already having 5 wins in the PBC. Top 3 teams are all on a 4-game winning streak, so it's going to be a battle to the top, and it'll be interesting to see how things pan out as we're still about 6 games away from reaching that midway point of the season.
And North Georgia holding the second best overall record in the Peach Belt Conference. Georgia Southwestern team with the best one with 17-5. North Georgia at 14-4 right there in second when you look at the overall records for both teams. Georgia Southwestern going to be coming to Dahlonega in just a little over 2 weeks' time from now, right at the end of March, going into Easter weekend. And that'll be a huge game. Brady Skipper going to bunt, not going to get to first base in time. And this will be the biggest game North Georgia's hosted in a good while, because at that point, most likely it will be for the Peach Belt Conference lead. And Anderson's coach, PJ Zochi, going to go talk to Corey Loggins.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see how these PBC standings play out.
And the Trojans are going to make a pitching change, and we're going to take a quick commercial timeout. We'll have the new pitcher at the mound right after this on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Greatness. Greatness is defined as striving to succeed. It is giving everything you have to achieve your goals. It's not defined by the numbers of games you lose, the numbers of shots you miss, but it's the risk in failing that will define your greatness. You earn it by showing up early, by pushing yourself every day, by working harder than everyone else. And when you've reached that point of giving up, you don't. Most people are good, others are great. Find your greatness.
Nick Miller, the new Trojan, on the mound for Anderson. And Nick Miller on the season at the pitching mound has made 5 appearances, this one being his sixth. His last appearance came a little over a week ago against Emory and Henry. Pitched for just a little bit of that game and allowed 3 hits and 4 runs and not even a full inning in pitching. It actually ended up to go and win that game 9-8 against Emory and Henry. Hasn't pitched for more than 2 innings, but North Georgia holds on. This will be the only inning that Miller will pitch today.
Miller made 19 appearances last season on the mound, all in relief, went 2 and 3 last season. He led this pitching staff with 3 saves during the 2023 campaign.
Pata back up to bat for North Georgia. Hasn't recorded a hit today. Looking to record his first. Jorge Arispro on second for the Nighthawks. Opata swings at that one for strike 1. Opata hit this one to the ground, foul.
And Opata, just like Darden, in the middle of a 7-game hitting streak. All 7 of those games, he's had multiple hits.
One, two. Opata swinging at that one. And Arispro will go to third. Opata doesn't record a hit in this one. Darden also looking to get his first hit of the day as well.
As we mentioned earlier, it's been that bottom half of the batting order for North Georgia that's seen the most success this evening. North Georgia's 2 leadoff batters still looking to get something going here in this midweek matchup with the Trojans.
That went off the pitcher's glove, and Jorge Arispro will come home, and North Georgia takes a 3-1 lead over Anderson in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Great heads-up play there by Arispro. Saw that the pitch got away, decided to make a break for it towards home, and it pays off as the Nighthawks put another run up on the board, their first since the bottom of the 5th.
North Georgia looking to take a midweek win as they get ready to go on the road tomorrow against West Georgia. 2-0 count for Darden. And now P.J. Zachi coming out to the mound to talk to Nick Miller.
We mentioned Opata earlier, along with Darden in the middle of a 7-game hitting streak. Opata with multiple hits in all 7 of those games. And multi-hit games are something we've come to expect from Opata and Darden. Both rank top 30 nationally in hits per game, averaging almost 2 per contest. So it's been a bit of an outlier here in this midweek matchup, as both still searching for that first hit.
Georgia only recording 6 hits in today's game. Pitch outside, 3-0 count for Darden. Right down the middle, strike one. Darden hitting this one. Out of play, full count. Darden looking for his first hit of the day. Darden hits this one, bounces off the pitcher's mound, and he will record his first hit of the day.
That's now 8 games in a row with a hit for the 2-time PBC Freshman of the Week, Noah Darden.
Number 23, Riley Frost.
Frost, another Nighthawk, looking for a hit today. Riley Frost, Philip Bard, and Andrew Zapata. All Nighthawks that have been held without a hit today. Darden's going to steal second. And he gets there.
Frost had a season-high 3 hits in a game this past weekend at Claflin.
The 0-1 high for ball. Frost swings at that one, bringing strike 2. One, two. Darden was looking to advance to third. Twos across the board. Now Darden on second. Full count for Frost. 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. Fouled back. Frost keeping his at-bat alive.
It's been a well-rounded and balanced attack from North Georgia this season as they rank second in the PBC in batting, pitching, and fielding.
North Georgia having a great season so far with a 14-4 record. Frost hitting another foul. Frost hits a high fly ball over in the direction of Gray Wells, and Wells comes up with the catch. And we bring you to the top of the 9th inning. North Georgia extends their lead 3-1 over Anderson. We'll be back right here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
To them, the whole world looks like an opportunity, one to be seized, built upon, and made better for their sport and the people around it. To student athletes, every opportunity is a chance to change what could be and show the world what opportunity can do.
Top of the ninth inning, North Georgia, 3-1 lead over Anderson. Nighthawks looking to pick up their 5th win in a row. Jarrett Bales on the mound for the Nighthawks. First pitch outside for ball 1. Today's ninth inning is presented by Mason Tractor, Georgia's Kubota elite dealer. Cannon Dorsey coming in to pinch hit.
Dorsey, one of those players, as you mentioned earlier, Devin, one of 4 Trojans to be batting .333 this season.
1-2 count for Dorsey. It's just on the outside for ball 2. Dorsey hitting this one on the ground, ruled foul.
Despite an 11-10 record, the Trojans have been batting well this season at .308. If they were in the PBC, that's a top 4 batting average.
And Bales strikes out Dorsey. Bales getting his 2nd strikeout of the day. Matt Ketchen, the leadoff hitter. Both leadoff hitters today for Anderson and North Georgia, so far without a hit. Ball flies out of play. Brings up an 0-1 count. Oh, 1 count. Strike 2 for Mac Ketchen. Fouled back, still stays an 0-2 count. The 0-2. That one low and in the ground for ball 1. Drew Zapata 0 for 5. Matt Ketchen 0 for 3 today. Both leadoff hitters for their respective teams today.
Anderson looking to avoid losing their 4th game in a row for the 2nd time this season, and North Georgia looking to go on a 5-game winning streak for the 2nd time this season.
North Georgia going on the road against West Florida tomorrow, and then coming back home this weekend for a 3-game series against Peach Belt rival USC Beaufort. The 2-2. That one high. Now full count.
Ketchen able to battle his way back into this count.
So I hit over in the direction of Brady Skipper, and out 2 will be made. J.C. LeGrand struck out twice so far in this game.
Only hits of the afternoon belong to Poole.
Goes for first pitch from Bales, goes for a ball. It's a high fly ball in the direction of Riley Frost, and he makes the catch, and that will bring an end to this one as North Georgia, winners of 5 straight games, beat Anderson 3-1. And Robert, before they head on a quick road game against West Georgia and then face off against the Peach Belt rival USC Buford, give a quick final thought on this one today.
Yeah, they've got a quick turnaround tomorrow, but a great midweek win here for the Nighthawks. An out-of-conference matchup for them. Continue to dominate the Trojans here at home. And a win today means that there's some potential for them to crack that top 25 for the first time this season. We know they received votes last week in the coaches poll. As you mentioned, this is now 5 wins in a row for the Nighthawks as they are off to one of the best starts to a season that they've had in quite some time, Devin.
Yep, off to a 15-4 start. North Georgia picking up the Tuesday win, 3-1 over Anderson. For Devin Kupka and Robert DiClemente saying so long from Dahlonega. We'll see you guys again this Friday. Once again, the final score, North Georgia victorious, 3-1 over Anderson.